Hey, hi there. So, as you may know, or you may not know, which is bad, but that's okay, for the last 3 months, we have been walking in this area, which is central Delhi. And what we try to do is we try to explore central Delhi starting off from Connaught Place, this road, which is Shaheed Bhagat Singh Marg. You see that leafy, nice road there. This is what we explored in our last episode, and that's Connaught Place. We always start from there. This is our focal point, if I may, and we start from here. We take one of the roads, and then we move radially outwards, and we try to explore and talk about whatever we see. And when I say we, that's mostly me, because you guys somehow don't speak, which is bad, but that's okay. So, continuing the tradition, unless and until there's nothing more left, starting off at least from Connaught Place. Uh, Today, I'll walk further ahead to the next street, which is called Panchkuian Road. And of course, we'll be adoring all these nice views and these nice spaces of New Delhi as we walk. I could have grabbed a tourist map actually, but that's okay. Maybe I'll grab it another day. Uh, so this building on my left is actually a tourist office where you can get free maps. So just in case your Google Maps is not working, or you like living in the old world, not really old world, but you get what I mean. That looks so pretty, right? That's almost 100-year-old building now. In early 1900s, New Delhi was built by the Britishers, and this medical college, Lady Hardinge Medical College, is also uh, roughly of the same age. It was also built when New Delhi was being built by the Britishers, and I think many of these trees are also probably older than the average audience age that I have. Much older than my own age. Wow, that looks beautiful. Oh my god. I've never seen a lot of nice street art in this area of Delhi. It looks like it's changing. Starting off from Panchkuian Road, which is right here. I will not be walking in that direction, and I guess I would recommend you also don't walk in that direction much, unless you're like hungry or you want to do some sort of shopping. So, yeah, don't go in that direction, go in this direction, and let's explore Panchkuian Road. So, right off the bat, I see that this road is unusual because, oops, it's not very walkable. And I mean, I see some nice bushes and bougainvillea and that Gandhiji sketch, but otherwise, it's not as leafy as some of the other roads, which makes me sad, but that's just how cities are, right? We've seen a lot of the nice leafy roads, and this one is nice, but not as leafy. And Panchkuian Road is called Panchkuian Road because uh, there were 5 wells on this road, and in Hindi, if you break down Panchkuian, it translates to oops it translates to 5 wells. So again, if we go back 100 years or 200 years, there were five wells along this road, and that's why this was called Panchkuian Road, and the same name has continued. So, what we see in the middle of this road is actually the metro line, which I think has a part to play in the way this road looks today. We are clearly seeing that this road is not very walkable. I would also say not very talkable. So that's one more government hospital. We saw the Lady Harding Medical College in the last video. This is another one, Sucheta Kriplani Hospital. But anyways, coming back to the metro line, right in the middle of Panchkuian Road, it definitely has a part to play in the way this road looks today, because uh, I would imagine before the metro was planned here, and it's like an overhead metro, not even a fully underground one. What is that supposed to be? That looks like a code, which I cannot decipher. It's strange that I'm seeing quite a bit of street art kind of things, and that's the metro. Do you see the metro? Yeah. So the problem is the fact that the metro wasn't built underground in this area. It means that clearly trees probably had to be cut and views had to be blocked, and that's why this just doesn't look as good anymore. So I guess that speaks a little bit to how you must always think things through and plan things well. So that board stood for North Delhi Municipal Corporation, and it told us that the NDMC area has ended, so sort of the New Delhi area has ended as well. There you go. That's our culprit. So clearly, this road is different, right? Very different from the other ones that we've explored, and different could also be a euphemism for not as good, right? But I mean, good is subjective. Maybe some people would like the noise, the excitement, the chaos, but I am not one of those people. So, what I plan to do is I'm gonna cross the road, because that looks like a nice, cute spot to cross the road from. And my plan for today, for me and for you, is to keep walking away for a little bit more from Connaught Place along this road, which is the Panchkuian Road, the road of five wells, as I mentioned earlier. And we'll walk a little bit that way, and then we will be taking a right turn, and we'll try to get back to Connaught Place from the next road, which I'm sure will be quieter and more peaceful. And I know there's like a cemetery in this area as well, but it's probably not very difficult to reach that place. We'll see if we can. I like that gate. Oops, don't worry, doggy. So I like that gate for some reason. So I thought I'll click a video. Oh, hi. So, anyways, I was talking about the cemetery, and I think I possibly misspoke. I said that it is not very difficult to find the cemetery. I think I meant it's not very easy to find the cemetery, because from what I have known of the place. It's going to be quite chaotic, and I may or may not be able to find the entrance to the cemetery, but try we will. And even if we cannot find the cemetery, we cannot explore if there's any peace and quiet in that cemetery, we will try to still take the next road, the next parallel road, which should be quieter, and we'll use that to get back to Connaught Place and have some fun on the way, of course. So I think the next intersection, poor metro. I wish this was underground and we had a few trees here, like a few more trees. So on my right is actually a police station, so I thought I better not record, because you never know if I were recording like how the police station looks from outside, they might have a few questions for me. That way is actually Bangla Sahib Road, and it will connect us to Shaheed Bhagat Singh Marg and also Baba Khadak Singh Marg in all those nice earlier episode places. So I have reached the RK Ashram metro station, which is the next metro station after Connaught Place if you were to take, I think, the blue line of the metro. And this area, I think on both sides, especially on the left side, I'm sure, is called Paharganj. Uh, it's not really New Delhi. It's been, I would say, an older locality, and uh, it has existed here for much longer than New Delhi. But it also means it's not visually as appealing, but I would say gastronomically it's very appealing, because there are some traditional dishes and foods that are just available in huge varieties here. So there's this dish called chole bhature. In fact, I've already been smelling a lot of chole bhature in the air, because Paharganj is especially famous for that and a number of other Indian roadside snack kind of dishes. But as you can kind of make out now, we don't want to go beyond RK Ashram metro station, because we'll see a lot of chaos and a different kind of Delhi, which I don't really want to explore today. So what I am going to do is I will try to find that road on the left side that I was talking about, the quieter road, and hopefully if we find that quieter road, and maybe if we find that cemetery as well, which I think is on the other side of these shops, we'll be able to check out the cemetery, and we'll be able to use that quieter, nicer road to get back to Connaught Place. This one is quieter, but I'm not sure if it's oops nicer. That's questionable. But yeah, we'll use that road. We'll get back to Connaught Place, and it'll be all right. Okay, don't worry. I'm here with you, and we'll still explore nice, quiet places, and we'll get back to Connaught Place, hopefully in one piece, and hopefully with our phones and with our wallets intact. So here's the plan. I did try to venture, oops, a little bit further in the reverse direction, but I could not really find the road that I was talking about. So we'll get back to Panchkuian Road and we'll start walking towards Connaught Place, but still, we will be trying to find that parallel road. And I think it kind of goes through the Indian Railways colony or something like that. So it should be nice and peaceful, I'm sure. So let's do that. All right, so we'll say bye bye to the metro line, which has made the whole road ugly. And we are taking this left turn in the hope of finding the next road, the next right from there, which should get us back to Connaught Place. And it'll also give our senses a little breather because I'm sure it'll be quieter and more peaceful as we've been used to over the last few episodes here. So, there's one thing that's very curious and interesting about this road, too. So, this one is called Basant Road, and Basant in Hindi means spring, and right now, March is going on. So that's a dargah or a place where Muslim saints are buried, and it's. He was asking if I need a ride, and wow, he's like sassy, he's upset. Anyways, the dargah is linked to Sufism. A lot of people come to dargahs and pray and ask for wishes. So that's something that's fairly common. But yeah, I was talking about this road. It's called Basant Road, and Basant means spring, and right now it's spring. And what's also very interesting is how alike we humans sometimes think, because this name is, of course, a Hindi name which translates to Spring Road. But I know Spring Road is probably a very common name because oh, even that lane is called Spring Lane. So why do I say it's a common name? Well, because I think we humans think very alike, and we've named roads all over the world on the name of seasons. At least I remember when I was living in Chicago, there was a road called Spring Road. There was a place called Spring Grove. So yeah, it's good to know how seasons connect us. We took the right. So here we are walking along Spring Lane or Basant Lane, and we are walking towards Connaught Place via what seems like a railway colony. These are all Indian Railways things, and I think I even remember coming here for some sort of function. I think it was a friend's sister's wedding or something like that, and his father used to work in the railways. So this is that area where a lot of Indian Railways things exist, and a lot of the people live as well. And along this road, along the Spring Lane, we'll walk until we reach Connaught Place. And as you can already sense, this is definitely a respite. It's nicer, quieter. You can listen to those sounds and read stuff. What does that say? It just says what I already told you, that this is all railways property, and yeah, we have a lot of railways people living here. So of course you saw me struggling with the words a little bit there. But I guess I was just letting the birds do the talking. So we are not really too far from Connaught Place now, and I guess now is also a good time for us to zoom out in our heads. That's a nice building. I like that yellow and the dark of the tree in front of it. But anyways, let's zoom out. So this part of Connaught Place, or this road coming out or going into Connaught Place, uh, it's actually to the northwest, I would imagine, of Connaught Place, and that's where the older Delhi used to be and is. And that's the reason why we'll notice that these areas are more densely populated and they're older as well. And because they were probably planned differently, not like New Delhi. Wow. So the fact that they were planned differently, they have a very different vibe to them as well, and probably not the same vibe as we've seen with some of the other roads. If you stay to the south of Connaught Place, or maybe like you go west or southwest, you'll see all those prettier roads, the more modern roads, and also the newer roads. But yeah, I think we are back at Connaught Place, to the northwest of Connaught Place. So now we are at the outer circle of Connaught Place. That's Panchkuian Road. If you see a little bit of it, we'll see some more of it. And this block where I'm walking right now is the H block of Connaught Place, and we are walking towards the G block. So that's G, and that's where the middle circle and inner circle are. So there is definitely some sense to Connaught Place blocks, because as you can see, we are walking towards G and we are walking from H, so walking away from H. So they are sequential like that, but unless and until we really think about it, or we zoom out, as I say, we would not really understand. So that's Panchkuian Road. Definitely not one of our favorite roads, but still an interesting road. Definitely worth exploring. And what's also worth exploring is this place. So this is a hotel. It's a Radisson, and it's a nice location. I think this is definitely on my to-do list as well, along with the Connaught that we saw in the last episode. But this is it. I think we are almost done with this episode, and I'm saying bye-bye to you from here, the G block of Connaught Place. And just in case you are looking for quieter and more peaceful episodes, you should check out some of my other ones.